But the president's plan not only facing political headwinds, but also the headwinds of inflation, worries about current and rising inflation not being helped by threats to print trillions more for the Build Back Better plans, even Democrats sending up warning flags. Here's a tweet from Twitter founder Jack Dorsey. He put this out over the weekend. He says, hyperinflation will happen soon here in the U.S. Reaction now from former McDonald's USA CEO Ed Rensi. Ed, good to see you. Do you think we're heading towards hyperinflation, Ed?
I absolutely believe that. I don't know if hyper is the right definition, but disinflation is galloping right now. And it reminds me an awful lot of what I went through in the 70s and 80s when I was on the East Coast working. I don't see how it's going to change. We're looking at fry oil's gone up almost $40 a case. Chicken wings in restaurants have gone from about $40 a case to $178 a case. Wow. That's causing restaurant prices to go up as much as 20%. And it's everywhere. It's not just food in restaurants. It's across the board. You go to Walmart, you go to Target, these prices are galloping right now. And I think the next big fear I have is the way this country is being run. We're going to get into stagflation where people are just going to quit buying because it's just not affordable anymore. And there's no way to bring the prices down or you won't get your earnings. It's a terrible dilemma.
Well, Ed, the president claims that spending trillions more on his Build Back Better plan is eventually going to lead to a drop in inflation. Do you buy it?
Not even a little bit. I think it's going to add to the inflation because all that has to get paid for. How do you get it paid for? You raise taxes. The Fed's going to have to step in and do something. And taxes are a hidden inflation cost to the average family. All the things we're doing is very regressive for the people that are on the lowest income levels and lowest family budgets. I don't see it's not going to fix anything. When you print money, the money becomes worth less. And right now, every dollar you print makes another dollar that much less in value. So I don't see it.
Worth less or worthless. I think both words really count here. Now, it's not just Jack Dorsey. Former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, other people have been warning about inflation. Larry Summers spoke last week. He said, we have a generation of central bankers who are defining themselves by their wokeness. We're in more danger than we've been during my career of losing control of inflation in the U.S. Now, you harken back to the 1970s. Could it get even worse than that?
I think it can. One of the things that I saw back in the 70s and 80s, the people that paid the biggest price were minorities, brown and black-skinned people, wonderful, valuable workers. They just couldn't survive. And I was actually, the unemployment rate was just staggeringly high. I was actually busing young people from New York City down to Philadelphia to work and teaching them English in the buses. That's a terrible way to run an economy. And I don't see any way out of it anytime soon. I'm sure the Fed or Yellen or somebody's going to step in and start cranking up interest rates, and that's when we're really going to start to see trouble.
Well, we'll see. Otherwise, so far, they've just been monetizing the debt, buying up 60% of Treasury bonds, et cetera. Supply chain issues, of course, I think are primarily related to the labor shortage that we have. Right now, we have 11 million unfilled jobs. A lot of them are at the ports. A lot of them are with truckers, et cetera. How is the labor shortage affecting your business, restaurant and service industries that have close contact with people?
Well, it's a terrible dilemma. I live here in Florida, and we've got the second lowest per capita per 100,000 COVID infection. Hawaii's number one at 9, and we're slightly above that. The reality of it is lockdowns don't work. And with all the money we dumped into the economy, people are staying home. And the biggest single problem we have is truck drivers. That job is very, very difficult. It eats up all kinds of time. There's no chance to go home. 66,000 truckers retired in the last 12 months. Wow. Nobody's coming in. The average age of a truck driver going to school today is 35 years of age. It's almost 10 years older in the workforce in truck drivers. So we've got a major truck problem. And I'll tell you, self-driving trucks aren't going to solve the problem. We need to
Yeah.
We need to get McDonald's supply chain, Fat Branch supply chain, and UPS to fix this problem. We need to pay truck drivers more, and we need to treat them with more respect, and we need to give them a chance to have a family life.
Yeah.
That'll help us go a long way.
Ed Rensi, always a pleasure to have your expertise on. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Let's go back.